I'm going to start going through what I have here so you can kind of see what we came up with. So to start with, their requirements were a meat tray, a cheese, fruit tray, vegetable tray, cheese and crackers one night, and then salsa and chips another night, and popcorn. So that was kind of a tall order, but it ended up working out better than I thought it would, honestly. And it's really not going to be as much work as I thought it would be. So what I did was I called around. I was going to just go to Costco. But then I started looking at ads. And Sprouts and Lucky's, which are two kind of Whole Foods type stores here, both had grapes on sale, strawberries on sale, peppers on sale, and broccoli and cauliflower. So what I did was I ended up going to Walmart and matching the ads for all their prices. So I only had to shop at one store, but I was able to get strawberries for 98 cents a pound instead of the $2.50 a pound they were at Walmart. So I got strawberries for 98 cents a pound. The kids and I have already cut those up. We got started. Then peppers were 2 for $1. So I got some red and green ones. Sliced those up. I need to rinse them. We got on here quick, but I didn't get the seeds all rinsed off yet. So we sliced up some peppers, some red and green peppers. And then I got some grapes for 88 cents a pound. Cauliflower was 98 cents a pound. I got 2 of those. Oops, I forgot to take it out of the bag, but broccoli, ta-da, was $1.48 a pound. My watermelon was $5. And so that's what I got for my fruit and vegetable trays. And so I had Jack cut up, who's 7, cut up the grapes, and then David and Emily and I cut up the peppers and the strawberries. So we got all those done, and we also did some for us. I got extras for us just at home also, so we did those too. So then for the vegetable tray, I got a big thing of sour cream and a thing of mayonnaise. Both together were $10, and I'm going to make homemade ranch dressing. Mike, are you able to put the link for that in?
Oh, sorry. For the ranch dressing?
Yeah. So homemade ranch dressing for $10, and this is actually going to serve way more. So this is ranch dressing for, well, yeah, about 75 people. So that's about right. I thought it was more than that. Then, so I'm going to just stir the mayonnaise and this together for this dressing and put in my spices, and I'll have that. Then for the crackers, I just went and got the generic crackers. I got these, the round Ritz type, and then the club type, but they're the generics. Do we have any questions while I'm...
Actually, there was... keep talking.
Okay. Mike's looking for questions while we're waiting.
Trixie says, I thought you said no beans.
Trixie said, I thought it said no beans. With my Not Just Beans cookbook, yeah.
Deborah says, yeah, VBS. Oh, Amber asks, did you use a lot of coupons?
I used absolutely no coupons. I didn't use one. And I paid $70 to feed 75 people for 2 nights. So I spent $140 total. With no coupons. So then I got ham and turkey. These were just the regular price. I couldn't find any lunch meat on sale anywhere. So I'm going to cut the ham up probably into thirds just with the pizza roller. I'm going to set it on the cutting board, I don't know, probably 6 or 7, 8, I don't know, 6 to 8 slices. Slice it down to get 3 out of each of these. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages of ham, and I got 5 packages of turkey. And I'll slice the turkey in half. Then I got some lettuce because we were just going to have the crackers and the ham and cheese, but then the church last week had a big 4th of July picnic and they had a ton of hamburger buns left over. So I got one head of lettuce, which was $1, to use with the buns so that if people want to actually make themselves a sandwich. They had leftover ketchup and mustard, so we're just going to use that. So then for my cheese, so this was interesting. So I got, let's see, 2 pounds of cheese. Is that right? I think that's how much I got. So I got 10 pounds of cheese. And what I did was I was going to get the cheese slices. But then I got to looking, and they had on sale at Walmart, or a rollback, whatever you want to call it, but they had it on sale at Walmart. Instead of paying, okay, let me make sure that I have my numbers right while I'm thinking here. So it was $2 a pound to buy the block of cheese versus, let's see, how was that? Okay, let me do ounces because I'm having a hard time translating. So I spent 18 cents an ounce for cheese to buy it in the big blocks, and I got a great big block. Versus having it pre-sliced, it was 30 cents an ounce. So I saved 10 cents an ounce. So what I did then was, there happened to be a guy stocking cheese while I was there, and he said, well, let me run up to the deli and see if they'll slice it for you. So he ran clear up to the front of the store for me, which was so nice. Thank you so much, Justin. I appreciate it because I was tired. And sure enough, the deli said that they would slice this for me. So I had the deli slice 3 different kinds of cheese. I got mild cheddar, Monterey Jack, and Colby, and is this provolone? No, Monterey Jack. This is Monterey Jack. So that's a tip if you want to save money. If you find cheese blocks are cheaper, ask the deli if they'll slice them. A lot of times they will. And I am so glad he did, because he had his big professional slicer, and it took like 15 to 20 minutes for him to slice all this. If I would have done this at home, I would have spent an hour and a half slicing cheese. There's no way. Even with my meat slicer, I have a meat slicer, but even with that, it would have taken me way too long. Then I got a thing of American cheese also. So then, let's see, what else? Okay, so we needed popcorn, so I spent $5 on a thing of popcorn. I know I know it's slightly cheaper to make your own at home, but I'm tired and I'm worn out, and I've got to use a little bit of convenience here. So I just can't make everything from scratch. So then we got tortilla chips. I got 2 bags of tortilla chips. Whoa. And a thing of salsa for the chips for one night. And then, let's see. So I got these trays here. I think I'm going to put the cheese. I got these at the dollar store. I think I'm going to put the cheese in one in case people have dairy issues. I can keep it separate. So cheese and salsa in this. And then I have these great big trays like this. So I got this at the dollar store for $1, and I got 12 of those. And let's see, what else? Okay, so that's what I actually paid for the VBS. So I spent $140 for all this. Now everyone tells me, oh, there's no way you can spend $5 on a meal for a family of 7. It's just not possible. Or how can you spend $7 for a family of 7? This is very healthy. This is really actually very healthy. You've got meat, you've got your starch, but then you've got a lot of fruits and a lot of vegetables. And I easily spent $1 a person. So it's very, very possible. And that's one thing in our Dining on a Dime cookbook. I'll have Mike put the link up there for you. But that's one thing that we teach in the Dining on a Dime. It's not just, I mean, we do have recipes, okay? We have the recipes, but in the front here, we have all kinds of ways on how to save money and menus and how to use herbs and what you should have in your pantry and that kind of thing. Because it is very, very possible to spend 75 cents to $1 a person for a really good meal. Now, I know these are snack type foods, but you know, my family could easily get probably 12 meals out of this, easy, if not 15, at least 12, for the 7 of us. So it's not unreasonable at all. Now, I did yesterday when I went to the meeting find out that there's going to be about 15 to 20 teenage boys there. And so these were supposed to be mostly for the adult workers. So I'm throwing a couple of things that I already had in on top of that. And one of those things is these little snack crackers. So I got about 30 boxes of these for free. My aunt goes, she's in a senior living center, and her and her friends go to the food bank, and they gave them all of these, but none of them ate this type of cracker. So she gave them all to me, and all her friends gave them all to me. And so, so I'm going to take these, and I'm going to put them in a big bowl for some of the teenagers. And then also, I got these cake mixes after Halloween for 30 cents each. And I'm just going to donate these, but I'm going to make up, we're going to make up about 100, the girls and I, about 150 cupcakes. And what we're going to do is, they do have the black and orange funfetti in here, sprinkles in here. That's not quite appropriate, you know, for the middle of summer at a church. So what I'm going to do is, I already have a bottle of sprinkles that I paid $1 for, and I'm going to divide up those sprinkles, and I'm going to put those in here also. So it's going to be a multicolored sprinkle cake. And then for my frosting, I got some powdered sugar, and I'm going to make my own frosting, and I'm going to tint it blue because the theme for the VBS is a sea theme, like under the sea type thing. So that way I'll have the blue icing that'll be like water. So I'm going to throw those in just to feed the extra teenagers. Which, I mean, there's probably plenty, but I know how teenagers are, especially boys. I have 3 of them, so anyway. Okay, questions?
Quite a few questions.
Okay, quite a few questions.
Several people were asking about what do you suggest for gluten-free?
So for gluten-free, so there's several people that are gluten-free at going to this, including me. So what I did here was I'm going to have the crackers on their own tray. And there's strawberries, and there's peppers, and they can eat the meat, and they can eat the tortilla chips, and the salsa, and the cheese. They can eat pretty much everything except for the crackers. I maybe should have gotten rice crackers. I didn't think about it. But honestly, they can make a lettuce wrap with the cheese and the turkey and the peppers. So yeah, you can easily do this for gluten-free. There's no problem. Everybody makes gluten-free be so, complicated and expensive, and it doesn't have to be. The only thing that's expensive about gluten-free is baked items, because you have to have special rice flour or buckwheat flour or whatever. And in reality, if you're just cutting out the crackers and the breads, all your other foods are really healthy and pretty cheap. So I did all this gluten-free for really cheap. So
Erin is asking, are the recipes in a book as well?
Yes. So the ranch dressing is in Dining on a Dime, and let's see, it's on page 168. So the ranch dressing is right here. Ta-da! So if you have dining, it's on 168. There you go.
And a different Erin asks, have you tried Aldi? If you want to do a meat tray, you should buy it in bulk. It costs less, and you can cut it up yourself like ham.
Yes, so that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting up this myself. I've got the turkey and then the ham that I'm cutting up myself. Yes, we love Aldi's, but now that we're in Colorado and not Kansas, we do not have an Aldi's. We do have Save a Lot. It's not quite as good. Um, but yes, if I was in Kansas, I would just be buying all this at Aldi's because it's just so much cheaper. Yeah.
Somebody asked, they weren't clear on whether or not Walmart price matches.
Yes, Walmart does price match, at least in Colorado they do, and you don't even have to have the ads now. They just take your word for it. So I just went in and wrote down what I wanted on the paper, and then I'm not fumbling with all kinds of ads and everything. So I just took my little notebook because I knew I needed pepper, strawberries, grapes, broccoli, and cauliflower, and just wrote down King Soopers, which is Kroger here, and Sprouts. Just wrote down their prices and just took it in, and I just read on my notebook what it was.
Deborah says, honey, you must not be feeding Baptist with 2 bags of chips.
Yeah, no kidding. I grew up Baptist, so I totally get it. The chips are just an extra additional side thing, and because I went in under budget, I may or may not go back tomorrow and get an extra 2 or 3 bags of chips. I was going to do the first night to see how quick they went. And so if they totally go out the first night, then the second night I might go and buy an additional 2 or 3 bags of chips. But we have so many other crackers and stuff that I'm not sure we're going to use all of these. So
Shannon asks, did it cost anything to have the deli slice the cheese for you?
no, it was free. That's the best part. The deli just did it for me free. And if you go to a butcher, or if you go to your butcher, like I was thinking about getting a big ham and having my butcher just slice my ham for me, or the deli slice my ham for me, because they will do that. But actually the ham was more expensive to buy it whole than to already buy it pre-sliced. But on the cheese, it was cheaper to buy it in the block and have the deli, and they did it just for free.
Oops. Somebody was asking, what is the confectionery sugar for?
Okay, so powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar, it's to make frosting to go with the cupcakes that I'm going to make.
And let's see.
Oh, and I did buy a thing of butter to put in the margarine too, and that was not very much.
One lady asked about saving on organic, and it looks like another lady may have answered some of that already.
Saving on organic. So, oh dear.
Another lady was saying to buy from the farm.
Yeah. Okay, so Mom and I are going to do a video on organic foods, and I'll tell you the truth, I don't really believe in organic food. I'm a gardener. I know quite a bit about pesticides and herbicides and stuff, and quite frankly, organic food is not worth it. You're just paying for the word organic. It really isn't any safer. As a matter of fact, they're finding out now that actually organic food is more dangerous because there's more bacteria and things from the horse poop that they use and the cow poop that they use to fertilize it. And so we're going to do a thing on organic, but for organic, you would just, just do the same thing. Find sales, or if going to the farmer is cheaper. I have not found that to be true. I've lived in 3 states, and I have never found pick your own. Why in the world would you pay $2.98 a pound for whatever to go pick your own versus $2.98 at the grocery store, and you have to do all the work picking? That makes absolutely no sense in my mind. But anyway, if it's something you want to do for your family, that's fine, but just compare prices like you would for anything else.
Somebody asked about, Trinity asked, what are you going to make with the huge jar of salsa you bought?
So this salsa is just going to be a dip for the chips.
Deborah says, when you do a buffet, always put what you have the most of at the front because people load their plates and put the meat last.
Oh, very good. That's a good idea. Yeah, to put the stuff that we have the most of at the front. That's a really good idea. I didn't think about that. Yeah, thank you. I'll use that tip.
Still a lot of thank yous and things, but that looks like it for the questions at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, so this is how I do it cheaply. I price match, or I go to the store. If I'm out running around, then like at the doctor or whatever, and I happen to go by whatever store has something on sale, if I'm by there, I'll just run in, and it takes me 5 minutes to pick up grapes that are 88 cents on sale instead of $2.98 for regular price. So I'll go in and get 10 or 12 pounds of grapes, and honestly, my kids will eat those in 2 days. So I have to be kind of careful that I don't buy too much because they just love eating the fresh fruit. So we go through it pretty quick if I have it on hand. So anyway, but yeah, that's how.
Just a couple other things. Beth said she was going to take kids to pick berries. Oops, I lost where it was. Blackberries, but it was $14 for 2 quarts, and it was cheaper at Dillon's.
Yeah, exactly. It's not cheaper going to the farmer to pick it. I mean, if that's something you want to do as a family thing or whatever, but it's not cheaper.
And one person asked about diabetic options, but I know this isn't necessarily for that.
Well, okay, so today I'm going to find out if I'm diabetic, so this is kind of appropriate. I put on 30 pounds in the last 2 years with a lot of stress that we've had going on, and I had gestational diabetes with my last pregnancy, so they told me I was a ticking time bomb, and I knew that and all that, and now my arms and legs are going numb. So today the doctor's supposed to call and let me know, but I've had to be on a diabetic diet before with my pregnancies. There is nothing different in here for a diabetic diet. All you do is need to eat less calories and not so many starches. There's really nothing special. I mean, if I was on a diabetic diet, I wouldn't eat the cupcakes, and I probably wouldn't eat the crackers, or I would only eat like 3 to 5 crackers, not 10 to 15 crackers. So this is perfectly acceptable if someone's on a diabetic diet, that they could eat all of this, or I mean most of it.
Kristen asks, she says, I'm just joining. Can you tell me, is this all from one place?
So yes, so if you're just joining me, what I did was I volunteered to fix food for 75 people for 2 nights, and I had to do it preferably $75 or less, but for sure $100 less. So I spent $70 to feed 75 people each night for 2 nights. So I spent $140 total, and I went to Walmart and I price matched all the fruits and vegetables were on sale at other stores. So I price matched those, and then Walmart happened to have cheese on sale in the big blocks. So I had the deli slice it up for me for free. He just sliced it up for me for free, and I got I can't remember. I think it was 10 pounds of cheese. I don't remember. I need to go look at my package. But anyway, and he sliced all of this for free for me.
That seems to be it for questions about this particular topic. There are a few people asking things like, do you do canning, and about buying at farmers markets and things.
Okay, I'll answer. Let's see, how much time we got? Okay, I got 5 or 6 minutes, so I'll answer a few of those questions. So what are they? Do I can?
What's it, do you do any canning?
No. I hate canning. It's hot, it's messy, and I hate it. Now, I know there are people that like canning, and that's fine if you enjoy doing it. But canning I have not found to be any cheaper doing it yourself than just going and buying a can of peaches at the store. And for me, I'd rather just go buy a can of peaches. Now, to that, I will freeze things. So, like these peppers here, I purchased at least this same amount, and actually I think I'm going to go back after we're done at VBS today and get at least double or triple this amount. So these are 50 cents each, and we cut those up. I will freeze stuff. So like we just cut up the same amount of strawberries for our family, and I threw them in freezer bags. I'm going to do the same thing with the peppers, and probably that's it. I'll probably just do peppers and strawberries. So I do freeze, and I do have a big freezer in the garage. It's actually starting to go kaput, so I don't know how long it's going to last, and I'm not going to keep it exceptionally full now since it's acting up. It's, I don't know, 10 or 12 years old now. I think it's like 12 years old now. No wonder it's starting to go. So I'm only keeping it about half full now. So yeah, so I don't can, but I do freeze.
Gina and Katie both are asking, where's the meat? I don't see any protein, they say.
Yeah, I've got 5 of these ham. I got 5 ham. I've got 5 turkey, and then I have 10 pounds of cheese. So there's lots and lots of protein. It's just kind of here.
And also, this isn't like a full meal, right?
It's supposed to be heavy snacks, not a full meal. So yeah.
Okay.
Farmers market.
Maggie says, great budgeting. I trade at the farmers market and often get goods for free and trade labor.
Yeah, trading would be a really good way to go. And one time I was selling, what was I selling at the farmer market? That was in Idaho. Oh, I was selling the cookbook, I think. This was when Not Just Beans first came out. Now it's called Dining on a Dime. But when we first had the book, I went to a farmer's market and was selling it there. And I did, at the end of the day, one guy had boxes of peppers, banana boxes full of peppers. And he did not want to take them home. So he gave me like 6 or 8 boxes of banana-sized boxes of peppers for $1 each. That's the only good deal I have found at a farmer's market. I have not found any good deals at farmer's market. I mean, the farmers need to get paid a good wage, and you just can't get good deals when you do that. Not to sound rude or whatever, but that's, they're not a good deal, and I think the farmers do deserve their good wage, but for me, I can't afford to be paying a premium price, so.
This will probably be the last, but one person mentioned that when they were in VBS as a kid, it was watered down lemonade and cookies, and then Ruff Hume Homestead says, if I'd been offered those options at VBS as a kid, I'd been happy. We usually had cookies and Kool-Aid.
Yeah, well, this is for the workers, but I've seen the kids' snacks this year, and they're way above what I would do. The lady, my friend Shirley, who's doing them, she made all these cute little, they're talking about Noah and Jonah, so she made these little rainbow fruit trays, and she made little banana whales or something, I think. I don't know all what she did, but yeah, how do I say? The bar has been raised for VBS snacks, I think, since when we were kids. Because, yeah, for us, it was some really cheap cookies and some watered down lemonade, exactly. So, anyway, but any other questions?
There just one person on canning was asking, what do you do if the electricity goes out? So someone wants to know, what do I do if the electricity goes out for the freezer?
I panic. We're in Colorado now. We used to live out in the country in Kansas, but now that we're in Colorado, we don't have a problem with the electricity going out very often. But if the power does go out, I keep it shut. Keep the refrigerator and the freezer shut. Just keep them closed. Don't get in there unless you really, really have to. But just keep them closed. And like, was it January, February? We lost our power. And for us, it was only like 5 or 6 hours. So it really wasn't bad. But when we were in Kansas, we lost our power for 10 days from an ice storm. And it was in the middle of winter. So this was in the winter. But everything was fine. It stayed perfectly frozen the entire time. Now, this was in January, but if this was in August, it would have lasted probably at least 2 days, maybe 3 days, and then if you have a grill or something, you could cook up all the meat and eat, what you can and that kind of thing. And fruits and vegetables would be fine. You'd lose ice cream and maybe some meat, but yeah, that's what I do.
Well, and our son is a power guy, so he has generator and
solar.
Battery and solar.
Yeah, our son took on his own and put his room off grid. So I guess we need him to do the whole house now. But anyway, any other questions?
That's pretty much it.
That's it? Okay. Well, guys, so that's how I'm succeeded in feeding 75 people for $70 a day for 2 days. I'm super excited. Now we're going to go put this all in buckets and get it over to the church. And please check out our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have tons more tips and recipes in here. And please go to livingonadime.com. And also, please subscribe. Please share. We really appreciate it when you share with your friends and family because it helps us out, helps get people to our website, and we really appreciate it. So I hope you guys have a great day. I will be back tomorrow at noon. I know I said it was going to be 4:30 this week, but since I'm doing this VBS stuff, it's going to be noon this week, and then next week we're going to turn to 4:30, maybe. We'll see. So have a great day.